Hey, what's up, guys? We're back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And you already know that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. We have yet again another episode of New Pickups. It's episode 88, and this is going to be definitely a good one for sure. Some cool things in this and some weird things in this at the same time. A couple of things that not normally on the channel, which is nice. I always like to show off some different figures or different lines that we don't always have on here, as it is mainly and most of the time Mattel or Jazzwares. And I would say Jax is definitely making their rounds in these videos as of late, and they certainly will be doing that here today. Today, episode 88, we are going to jump right into it because we have a bunch of stuff here, and going to kind of fly through a couple of things here because a few of them, they're actually not going to stay in the collection, and I normally don't do this on these videos, but I do want to show a couple of things that are going up on the MERCARI, and of course, so you guys can see it here first to have a better first-hand view, and maybe somebody out there is interested, and of course, you can always get me on MERCARI at MWC 2008. It is in the description of all of my videos, so definitely check that out if you're interested in what you're about to see here. And that is where we're going to start off on this video today, the first figure here. And it's not only just the first figure here, but it's also a Series 1 figure. I'm talking about the TNA Deluxe Impact. It is the Slammin' Celebration. This is number 35 of 250 of these figures. And it is none other than Sting. And we're having a little trouble here because, as you can already see, this is not doing so hot. These are all in the package, the ones that I'm about to show off here, but they are, unfortunately, as these were very, very, infamously known to do this, the glue has separated, on the bubbler here, the plastic part of this where it touches to the cardboard, where it adheres. And unfortunately, this is something that they were just known for. This is something that I think got resolved, I want to say, around Series 3. When the line was still going. I think this, and I could be wrong, I think the TNA Deluxe Impact, I think they went up to maybe like Series 12, somewhere around there before they stopped. But these here are extremely cool for a little bit of a couple of things here, a couple of reasons. So first and foremost, here we go, right? We're already getting too crazy, right? We're tongue-tying it, and this video's not even a couple minutes in. It's going to be a long one, guys. Strap in, put your seatbelts on, get ready for it. But we are going to show off, like I said, these things here, these little, oddities of what make this a little bit different, a little bit more rare, and some cool parts to this figure. So first off, this is a Slammin' Celebration. It is the first 300, and this is number 35 of 250. So I don't know if all of these had 50 of them that went somewhere, maybe special, they were given away to somebody, I'm not really sure, but the stickers all say first 300, and then it is marked down on the bottom with that 35 of 250. And this is obviously Sting, the icon. But if you look up here in the top left corner, it is signed. And this is signed by Sting. The figures in this series were all signed. As far as I know, I guess 250 of them at least, they were all signed. And that is what made these so cool. It was the first 300, the first part of the run. And very cool, though, to see autographed figures, and I'm not sure if I think, ordered these on TNA Shop or something at the time. I believe that was how you would get them. Obviously, these didn't just go out to stores as far as I know, but what is just so cool about it is the fact that obviously, out of what apparently is the first 300 that they did, they are not only numbered, but in the first 250, they were all signed. So, unfortunately, the glue is coming off on these, and as I show it here, you guys can see, I mean, it's separating from the package right there. It's definitely seen its day. I mean, this thing could probably fall off at any second here. I would like to try to re-glue them to the package properly and get them on here nice. Not sure if that is what I am going to do, but these will be going up on my MERCARI. So I'm going to fly through a couple of these so you guys can see them. We have Sting, and like I said, top left corner, all of these ones that I'm about to show are autographed, and they are all number 35 of 250. And of course, on here, the Slammin' Celebration that took place June 13th of 2010. So these figures, all of 15 years old, coming up on 16 years old this year, and I can't even believe this is still hanging on as I push on it a little bit. This thing's ready to probably pop off of here, so let me not go too crazy. But Sting, very, very cool. I'm sure there are plenty of Sting fans out there watching this, and like I said, these will make it up onto the MERCARI, and you know, I mean, based off of just what it is, we're going to try to be as fair with the price, and we're going to see what we do here as far as getting these maybe back onto the card and on properly. So we'll see how that goes. But this Sting figure, very, very cool. Like I said, autographed up on that top left corner, and Series 1 at that. So again, very cool figure. Something that you don't see a lot of them. I mean, they definitely have a few on eBay. I've looked them up. I've seen different versions. Some are signed on the front, some are signed on that top left corner, and I'm not really sure what the variation of all that is, but again, very cool that they did this, and something unique out of TNA, especially at the time of them coming out with their own figures, which I think was a big thing for a lot of people. Up next, out of that same series, that Slammin' Celebration again, number 35 of 250, it is Jeff Jarrett, and he has got his autograph up top on that left corner as well. And like I said, I mean, these packages here, the glue is just not wanting to hang on much longer. I don't know how it's going to make sense, but hopefully we can, like I said, hopefully we can probably get these back on there and at least make them look presentable. I don't want to use tape. I don't want to use anything that would kind of make it worse than it already is. I don't even know. I'm almost debating on pulling the clamshell here off this plastic piece, maybe pulling them off, and that just be, I don't even know. Don't even know if that would be a good idea. Maybe just leaving them the way they are. I just feel that if somebody did buy them, I'd be nervous as to, the time that they are in shipping, that they don't come off the card. So that is kind of one of those things I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to go about it. But Jeff Jarrett, very cool as well. Up next, same thing, number 35 of 250, and it is the phenomenal AJ Styles autographed in that top left corner. And a great figure, very cool figure when this came out originally. I was a big fan of it back then, and it was just a little bit of a letdown that, Jax officially moved on from WWE. Mattel picked up the license right after that. Jax then becomes the the producer of TNA figures, and it was a crazy transition time, because there was a part of me that was keeping a lot of Jax figures, not really wanting to get into the Mattel, but then of course new figures come out, guys that they haven't made yet, and it was just very tough. So AJ Styles here, he's also supposed to be wrapping it up in this next year or so, as they say anyway. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but 2026, I guess the retirement tour for AJ Styles will be in effect. But very cool here again, like I said, number 35 of 250, autographed as well. And still with that set, we've got the Deluxe Impact. Again, it is number 35 of 250, which is so cool because whoever did order these, obviously they had them together for a while, and they all correspond with each other. So it's very nice that they're all the same number. I think that's definitely a cool selling point to any collector. And again, with the autographs on there, it's just a cool little piece, a unique piece at that. But Samoa Joe here, and a very cool Samoa Joe at that. I don't know if we ever saw an attire like this anywhere else. I don't think WWE ever gave it to us. And like I said, obviously we're not going to probably get it in AEW. Who knows? Maybe they would. But I don't know if they could even do that now. How does that all work out with old TNA deals and TNA with WWE and NXT now? There's just a whole lot, I guess, on the table, and a whole lot that could be talked about in that conversation. And then as we switch over for a second here, this is now Series 3, Deluxe Impact, Kevin Nash. He is not signed. This one I'm just throwing in there really quick, but again, this will be up on the MERCARI. All the ones that you've seen right there, those will be up on the MERCARI. The Sting, the Jeff Jarrett, the AJ, the Samoa Joe, those are all out of that first 300 set with the autographs. That Kevin Nash will also be up there. But these next two are from that set, and they are the ones that I am planning to keep. And the one of them actually is the whole reason that I even bought the set. But up next, we've got Kurt Angle, and again, signed by Kurt Angle up top. This figure I am going to add to the collection because I don't think we're going to see WWE make his Main Event Mafia TNA attire. Again, I mean, with NXT and TNA and this whole WWE deal that they have going on, I don't know if it would ever be a possibility, if it would ever even make sense. I don't know how that would all work as far as, dividing up money and royalties and all that other stuff. But this Kurt Angle, a very cool figure, and the attire. Like I said, it's probably something we're not going to see again. So if anything, I'm going to hold on to it for the time being. It's like I said, it's a cool Kurt Angle, different head scan, different style with the attire, and just something that we didn't see much of. And I know Angle did get a few more figures through this Deluxe Impact line. He was one of their major players at the time, so I do remember them making more of like a Ruthless Aggression style of this, because they also did have like the RA line. As much as I know they're not, Ruthless Aggression, but they had the Deluxe Impact, they had the regular ones that looked like Ruthless Aggression figures, and not as articulated, but they did make this Main Event Mafia style in that as well. So a very cool figure there. If somebody's looking to add it to their Mattel collection, that one would probably scale a bit better than the Deluxe Impact. But Kurt Angle, a cool figure, and this one, surprisingly, on the package very well. The glue seems like it stayed intact well on this one. Unfortunately, the others, not so much. But like I said, very cool figures that you don't see much of. And this last one here, as it's ready to fall off the package as I speak, I'm not even kidding, this thing's ready to come off. This is the old reason why I even bought the set. And if you notice, this one is signed, and I don't even know if that's like, I don't even know. It's a weird signature, that's for sure. But this one is signed in black. The rest of them all signed in that silver Sharpie. But this was the whole reason why I bought the set. And unfortunately, as I sit here with this one, I think literally, guys, you can see it's about to come off. I mean, it's going to come off before I even get done with this video. It's got one piece hanging on over here on the side, and unfortunately, it's not doing too well. But I'm only going to say it once because we don't want to have the video completely demonetized, but Suicide is how he would have been called in TNA up until a certain point. I think then they changed it over, and obviously this is why we got the logo of his character on here, because they couldn't put that on a toy. And, of course, as you already can imagine why. But this was the figure that I did want to get out of all of them. Such a cool time to be a wrestling fan, when this was all kind of working out. A video game character turned into a real-life superstar, and just, a great run. I wish it could have been more, but definitely cool. If you were a TNA fan, I'm sure you remember him very well if you were watching, especially during that time. So those two there are going to stay in the collection, the Kurt Angle and the man there himself, like I said, that will remain unnamed for the rest of this video. The rest of them will be up on the MERCARI. But up next, as I've been saying, it is the episodes that run through the 80s, and of course, they are for the ladies. And we got two women's action figures here today, and one of which definitely was on the list for quite some time, and it is helping me to complete a faction. The other one is actually, surprisingly, I haven't seen it in the store, but Ringside was running a sale, and when you can get anything that is in the store at retail for less than that, it's always a plus. So we'll start off here. I guess we'll go with AEW first. AEW, it's a 1 of 5,000, and it is the Bunny. So the Bunny here was with the Butcher, the Blade. It is the triple Bs, if you will. But 1 of 5,000, very, very cool. And, again, got to always just kind of look around, try to find what you can out there. There are plenty of deals, and this figure, for anybody that's, out there looking for one, I'm sure you already know what they go for. And I would say got this for around maybe about 40-45% off of what the normal price is. So, I mean, again, a great deal. And if you can find them, if you can, really take the time to look through stuff, sometimes people quote in what they're saying, or they mislabel things, and that's even a way to get some good deals from time to time. So, but the Bunny coming out of the AEW Unrivaled collection, and this is a 1 of 5,000. One thing I will say about this figure, and it's even before we even get into the next figure, one thing that AEW does that I'm not particularly crazy about is when they make a chase figure, but it's only that figure. There's not a regular version of this figure. It is just this chase. So it's kind of weird where, like, obviously with WWE, we have those John Cena collector's editions. We've had collector's editions figures before, and, you can always kind of find them, I don't want to say easily, but easy enough. And with these, some of them are just so tough to come across. I have only found 2 AEW Chase figures in the store, and nothing crazy at that. I found, what was the, Keith Lee. I found Keith Lee, and the other one was, I believe, the name always slips my mind. It was a female wrestler. I cannot think of her name right now, but AEW. And I think it was a 1 of 5,000 as well. But, point being, they're not super hard to come by, I guess, if you know a schedule or if you're able to get into a store right when they're dropping something all the time. But I have very seldomly found them, and I have definitely found more WWE chases than AEW chases, and in comparison to, when AEW started and till now. So, but a very cool figure here, the bunny, and now we just need to get the Butcher, and once we get him, that whole, trio there will be complete. So that's very cool. Up next, again, another chase. It is a 1 of 3,000, and this one is coming out of AEW Unmatched. It is Series 10, none other than Brandon Cutler. And this figure, I mean, how toyetic is this? This is just it's a great figure. It looks really cool. It's definitely got all that little bit of extra, I guess you could say, a little bit of extra pizzazz to it that really makes it just that much different than the rest. The face mask, the camera, the spray paint. It's a crazy outfit at that. A very, very cool figure, like I said, and happy to add this to the collection. Looking forward to some of the other ones that they're actually coming out with, not chases, but a couple of the other figures that we're about to get from the Unmatched line that are very, very toyetic. Juice Robinson, that Ric Flair that's coming out, that Mercedes Moné, some very good figures in that next set that just dropped. So can't wait for those. But this Brandon Cutler is a super, super toyetic figure, and like I said, love the colors, love the accessories. And again, one that is only a chase. There is no regular version to this, so to be able to have to kind of seek out to find this. Again, found one that was about $20 cheaper than the rest of the ones that were out there. So it was, can't go wrong. Like I said, if you're always finding stuff as a little bit of a deal, it's the way you got to roll, right? I mean, as Kyle Peterson would say, you always got to get a deal, always check in and keep looking for those things, because eventually one will pop up. Some people don't even know what they have. Others just want to get rid of it. So this one here, like I said, $20 cheaper than the cheapest one online. And I figured that was probably about the lowest that I would find one at this current time. So as we see here, Brandon Cutler getting added to the collection. And up next, to give one more for the ladies in the episodes through the 80s, here it is. It is none other than Bayley in the Ultimate Edition. And this figure, again, one that I haven't seen at retail. I've seen the Punk, I've seen the Logan Paul, but every time I go, this Bayley is not on the shelf. So she is definitely desirable. A lot of people obviously picking her up, and a cool figure at that. Good attire. I think this was WrestleMania, I believe, is what it's based off of. So the jacket, the extra arms, all that stuff, the double head scans, the belt, and that updated women's championship as well. So that's very cool. And I think the only other Bayley that I have currently is her Survivor Series Elite, which a great figure as well. I would like to get her NXT Elite, and then I think at that point, for the time being, I don't think there's too many more Baileys that I'd like to get, aside from that Elite that she had. I can't remember what series it was. Black and red, I believe, was the attire. Her hair was also dyed, I think, black and red as well, and that was a really cool Bayley figure. I never saw that one in the store, and definitely that could be one more that does have to get into the collection at some point. But Bayley here, looking great in the Ultimate Edition, and with her comes the rest of them, and of course that means Logan Paul is next up on the block. This Logan Paul as well, WrestleMania, and the Philadelphia attire. He comes with the United States Championship, a very nice belt there with his Logan Paul side plates. Looking forward to his Defining Moments figure that we're going to get as well, because that does come with the Rey Mysterio side plates. Obviously, when he won the U.S. title, that's who he beat. It does come with that exclusive WrestleMania Prime bottle, a couple extra heads, and a very cool Logan Paul here. I like this one a lot. I like the attire, and I don't think you can go wrong adding this one to the collection if you haven't already got one. I know we're starting to see a few more of these now. It's starting to pick up. I think we've seen 2 or 3 regular Elite Logan Pauls. We have now gotten 2 Ultimate Edition Logan Pauls. So I'm sure we will see many more, and I look forward to seeing the attires that we get for Logan Paul. I think there's a lot of exciting ones still on the table, especially his SummerSlam attire from this past year. I would love to see that. I think that was the orange and black. That one was really nice. But this one right here, definitely topping them all at the moment. Ultimate Edition Logan Paul. And of course, you got to save the best for last, and not just the best for last, but the best in the world for last, and that is none other than CM Punk, again, coming out of the Ultimate Edition here. I think I might have to open this one up and actually reset it in the package. This thing is all over the place. It's crooked, the body's crooked, the toes are bent. It's got some things going on, but it's all right. We will make it work. Punk looking really good here in this, Bret Hart or, Hart Foundation tribute attire. All the extra hands. They got the best in the world. Sweatshirt like jacket there, and 2 extra heads in there as well. Very cool figure, especially like I said with this attire. It is finally back in the collection, because I think we did get this right away. They did do a 2-pack with Randy Orton, but it's nice to finally get this in the Ultimate. And I'll tell you one thing, as I was just talking about this the other day with somebody, I am very surprised that we have not seen a From the Vault Elite 11 CM Punk. Now, I do have the original. I've had it since, it's the original one that I picked up off the shelf when it originally came out. So we're going way, way back to, 2010 or 11, somewhere in there. How crazy that is. Probably 2011. So it's been all of, going on 15 years, and I do still have that figure, but I am surprised that we have not seen a re-release of it in the From the Vault. We did get that Macho Man attire one with the Nexus shirt that he did come with, and I did like that, but I definitely display that with the shirt off. The attire is so much better to be able to see on the trunks. But this Punk right here, paying tribute to the Hart Foundation, paying tribute to Bret Hart. He has done quite the attires over the years, and I look forward to seeing some that do get re-released, and hopefully some new ones in the future. But guys, as always, it has been a pleasure doing this. I love doing it. I love showing off these new figures and this new stuff that we're getting here. I know most of this video was figures that will be up for sale, but I did want to show those just so everybody could see them in case anybody is following on the MERCARI and is interested in those. You kind of know what you're getting into before you buy them with that glue situation. But who knows? Maybe we'll figure out something and make it work and get those back on the card. Nice. But until then, until the next video, until the next new figure pickups, or just anything under the sun, because we got a bunch of stuff going on over here between predictions videos, unboxing and reviews, and so much more. Until then, guys, if you haven't already, get over to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see and hear from me every single day, because we are dropping new videos every single day, make sure you hit that bell icon. And like I said before, if you want to know anything else, the Facebook, all that other stuff, you can find me at the MERCARI. It's down in the description of this video. Leave me a comment below. Tell me, what is your experience with the TNA figures, if you've had any? How has the glue held up for you over the years? And also leave me a comment as far as the other figures that you've seen in this video, or the TNA figures included. Which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? Tell me down below in the comments. And until the next one, guys, stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all there.